I'm sure it's going to be amazing. So, we're just really, really excited, really happy to be here.
Yeah, we're really excited to see the show, and we love our outfits. So iconic, British, and just to see the evolution to use the same pattern in different ways is really amazing.
I agree.
For years, the Beckham family sold everyone a flawless dream: power, polish, and perfection, like they were untouchable. But that shiny picture just shattered, and the cracks can't be ignored anymore. Right in the middle of the chaos sits Brooklyn Beckham, his wife, Nicola Peltz, and her billionaire father, Nelson Peltz, the man people whisper never thought Brooklyn was good enough for his daughter. What started as quiet tension behind mansion doors has now exploded into an all-out family war. Legal threats are flying around like confetti, public statements are getting icy cold, and the two families, they've completely stopped talking. Lines have been crossed so deep they might never be fixed again. The question that's got everyone talking is wild. Is Brooklyn actually making his own choices, or has he been pulled straight into the Peltz family's power web? Behind those perfectly filtered Instagram smiles and sugary couple posts, something dark is brewing, a real struggle for control. Things hit a breaking point when Brooklyn went public and turned on his own parents. In one emotional message that shocked everyone, he accused David and Victoria Beckham of twisting stories, protecting their image instead of their family, and constantly disrespecting Nicola. That one move shook the whole celebrity world. There was no sugarcoating, no hidden meanings, no quiet cleanup afterward, just raw truth flying out in the open. Later, Brooklyn made it clear he was fully standing with Nicola Peltz. No turning back, no family reunion on the horizon. What stunned everyone wasn't just what he said, it was the finality of it all. No "we'll fix this," no soft talk, no bridge left to rebuild. This wasn't a family feud anymore. It was a public declaration of war. It was a sharp, cold message that screamed loud and clear, this break is real. Sources close to the Beckham circle say Brooklyn's fiery post didn't come out of thin air. It was the final spark after something heavy went down behind those locked mansion doors. Just days before he blasted his family online, David and Victoria Beckham had reportedly sent him a private, handwritten letter straight from the heart. No managers, no PR filters, no public spin, just two worried parents reaching out to their son because real communication was already dead. But that's when things spiraled fast. Insiders claim Brooklyn had already dropped a legal bombshell before that letter even landed. He'd allegedly sent a cease and desist order to his own parents, telling them to stop talking about him publicly and to handle all communication through lawyers. That move left the Beckhams completely shaken. And what really rattled them? The growing suspicion that this legal step didn't come from Brooklyn alone. That's when whispers started spreading. People close to the situation began saying Nicola Peltz and her powerful family were the ones quietly steering the ship from behind the scenes. Those who say they've seen the Beckhams' private letter describe it as nothing like the public drama. No threats, no anger, no defensiveness. It was soft, emotional, and filled with love and worry. David and Victoria were begging their son to just talk to them, to remind them he was okay, and to hold on to even the tiniest piece of that family connection. But instead of mending the cracks, that letter seemed to split them even further apart. Days later, Brooklyn went full force with a fiery public statement that flipped quiet family tension into massive global headlines. He said he was finally speaking for himself, no one pulling the strings, and fired back at every rumor claiming Nicola was controlling him. Brooklyn declared it was his parents who had always called the shots, and that chapter was officially over. The moment he said that, everything shifted. Fans split, opinions clashed, and the once perfect Beckham image started to crumble in real time. Brooklyn keeps saying he's finally free, but critics aren't buying it. They point out that every move he's made since cutting ties seems to pull him even tighter into the Peltz family's world. He's living in their circle, showing up at their events, and reportedly only reaching his parents through go-betweens. That's got people whispering that this isn't just about broken hearts or family tension anymore. It's a full-on battle for power, influence, and control between two massive dynasties. And everyone keeps circling back to one unforgettable moment, the wedding. More specifically, that now infamous first dance. Brooklyn claims his mother, Victoria Beckham, hijacked the special moment meant just for him and Nicola. He said it left him completely humiliated in front of everyone. Witnesses say Nicola ran off in tears, totally crushed. The whole vibe of the room flipped in seconds. One moment it was pure joy, the next it felt like the air got sucked right out. What should have been a dreamy family celebration turned into the exact second everything fell apart. Even guests who swear they stayed neutral admit the dance wasn't just about music or timing, it was deeper. It was about emotion, pride, and boundaries colliding in front of hundreds of eyes. That dance became a symbol, proof that this wasn't a misunderstanding, it was a power struggle between two families who both know exactly how to command a spotlight. For Nicola, insiders say that moment was her breaking point. After the wedding, she reportedly made her stance crystal clear. She was done playing peacekeeper, done trying to blend the Beckhams and the Peltzes into one happy family. From that point on, it was her circle first, and the rest could wait. According to people close to the chaos, that single dance didn't just ruin one night, it lit the fuse for a feud that's still burning today. And right in the middle of it all stood Brooklyn Beckham, facing a brutal truth. He could choose his famous parents or his powerful wife's world, but having both, that door slammed shut the moment the music stopped.
I just fancied it. I mean, it was as simple as that. Yeah, I mean, I think also we both come from families that work really hard. Both of our parents work really hard. We're very working class.
Be honest.
I am being honest. I am being
what car
honest.
did your dad drive you to school in?
So my dad did.
No, one answer.
My dad.
What car was it?
All right, it's not a simple answer
What
because.
car did you get your dad to drive?
It
you to
depends.
school in? No.
Okay,
What
in the
car?
80s,
What?
my dad had a Rolls Royce.
Thank you.
He was told point blank he couldn't have both his wife and his mother fully in his life. A choice had to be made, and Brooklyn chose Nicola. Since that moment, insiders say everything changed. Invitations went unanswered, family events were skipped, and real communication completely vanished. Sources claim Nicola stood her ground, refusing to attend any gathering where David or Victoria Beckham might show up. Depending on who you ask, that's either strong self-protection or a calculated power move. But one thing's for sure, there's no denying it now. Brooklyn Beckham looks almost entirely cut off from the family that raised him. The divide has never looked colder. And while Nicola has been front and center through all the chaos, insiders say the real force behind the curtain barely speaks at all. Her father, Nelson Peltz. His silence alone carries serious weight. Nelson isn't just rich, he's a billionaire strategist known for being in control, keeping things tight, and quietly pulling the strings while everyone else fights in the spotlight. According to several reports, those close to the situation say Nelson Peltz was never impressed with Brooklyn Beckham. From photography to cooking to lifestyle branding, insiders claim he saw Brooklyn's projects as scattered, unfocused, and lacking direction. There were no public jabs, no shouting matches, just that calm, cold skepticism that hung in the air and never went away. And when the man running a billion-dollar empire isn't convinced you're the right fit, that speaks volumes. At this point, it's not just about family drama or hurt feelings. It's about power, money, and control. Those close to the situation whisper that Nelson's influence runs deep, and Brooklyn is now fully living inside that system. Every step, every public move, every partnership, all of it now seems to orbit around the Peltz empire's rules. But there's one detail that still raises eyebrows across both families: the prenup. Before the lavish wedding, Brooklyn reportedly signed a strict agreement that made one thing clear: if the marriage ever ended, he wouldn't see a single penny of the Peltz family fortune. He'd only leave with whatever the couple built together. For the Beckhams, that changed everything. It wasn't about greed or the money itself, it was about leverage. In that moment, Brooklyn wasn't just emotionally tied to Nicola, he was legally and financially bound to her world. That single document became more than a safety net. It became a quiet symbol of who really held the power now. He was structurally locked in, That prenup didn't raise eyebrows because of the money, it set alarms because of the dependency. If Brooklyn ever ended up alone after cutting off his parents, he wouldn't just lose Nicola, he'd lose everything. No family to fall back on, no foundation to rebuild from, no safety net at all. And that's exactly what's been haunting David and Victoria Beckham the most. Sources close to the couple say their biggest fear isn't the drama or the headlines, it's the thought that their son may have handed his entire future over to someone else's control. Behind closed doors, that's what keeps them up at night. Yet, even with all that heartbreak, insiders claim one thing hasn't changed. The door home is still wide open. Those closest to the Beckhams swear they'd welcome Brooklyn back instantly. No conditions, no staged apology, no PR cleanup. They just want their son back. No cameras, no chaos, just family again. But Brooklyn isn't budging. He stands firm, saying he has no regrets, believes every word he said was his truth, and feels fully justified walking away from the very family that helped shape his fame and public image. Meanwhile, life moves on for the rest of the Beckham clan. Careers are soaring, the brand keeps glowing worldwide, and every post still paints that picture-perfect empire. Yet everyone can see what's missing: Brooklyn. And while he keeps insisting he's finally free, people who knew him before the spotlight, before Nicola, before the family politics, they've started speaking up. And what they're saying is shaking things even more. The most surprising voice didn't come from Hollywood, fashion, or social media, it came from football. Brooklyn's former youth coach from his days at Queen's Park Rangers finally broke his silence. He didn't take sides, didn't drag anyone, didn't chase clout. He just spoke from the heart about the kid he once trained, and the words hit harder than anyone expected. His message wasn't scandal or gossip, it was reflection. He described Brooklyn as a quiet, kind soul who always wanted approval, who tried to please everyone and crumbled when he felt unwanted. Coming from someone who knew him before the fame, that insight landed like a truth bomb. And for the first time, people started to see this story not just as a feud, but as a tragedy about a son caught between two worlds that both claimed to love him. And that single moment cracked open a brand new chapter in this already explosive saga. The former coach didn't rush to defend David or Victoria Beckham, and he definitely didn't cheer on Brooklyn for the choices he's made either. Instead, he painted a raw, uneasy picture of what life was really like growing up inside that golden Beckham bubble. A childhood packed with pressure, anxiety, and a level of exposure most people could never imagine. He talked about a teenage Brooklyn being followed by security guards as young as 14, a kid constantly watched, never free to just be. Fame and fortune surrounded him, but peace and stability nowhere in sight. Even for a coach who had seen it all, the situation was disturbing to witness. And while he refused to point fingers or assign blame, his words hit like a gut punch. Brooklyn never had anything close to a normal childhood. That lack of normalcy left him wide open, vulnerable to influence, vulnerable to manipulation, vulnerable to believing that the only way to finally breathe was to cut everyone off. It wasn't rebellion, it was desperation, a move that looked like freedom but may have built a whole new kind of cage. And this is where things turn seriously uncomfortable. When you strip away the emotions, the loyalty, the social media noise, one truth starts staring everyone right in the face. Nicola Peltz didn't step out of her world to join Brooklyn's. Brooklyn left his world to join hers. Nicola stayed rooted in her comfort zone, her family close, her finances untouched, her independence fully intact.
When you get married so young, you don't ask, how many children do you want? Where do you want to live? Where do you see yourself in 20, 30, 40 years' time? You don't ask those questions when you're a kid, right? If you were marrying someone later on in life, you're going to want to ask those questions, right? We didn't. And I'm so thankful and grateful that we have grown and evolved together.
Meanwhile, Brooklyn gave up nearly everything: his parents, his lifelong support system, and the foundation that had carried him since childhood. He traded a global empire built by his family for life inside the Peltz inner circle, where every move now seems tied to their world, their rhythm, and their control. And that's what's really making people uneasy. Not because Nicola's some villain or because Brooklyn's weak, but because isolation changes you. It changes the way you think, who you trust, and how trapped you can become without even noticing it. Insiders whisper that what looks like freedom on the surface may actually be something far heavier, a quiet dependence wrapped in love and loyalty. And as this story keeps unfolding, one thing feels painfully clear. Brooklyn Beckham didn't just switch families, he may have surrendered his whole sense of self in the process. When one person becomes your only emotional anchor, their influence can start to feel absolute, even if they never openly claim control. And through all this noise, one man has stayed completely silent: Nelson Peltz. Despite being dragged straight into the spotlight, the billionaire patriarch hasn't said a single public word. No denials, no clarifications, no defense of his son-in-law. Nothing. And when it comes to someone as methodical and strategic as Nelson Peltz, that silence isn't accidental. It's power in motion. Those who know him describe a man who moves with precision, makes swift, deliberate choices, and doesn't waste time with appearances or media fluff. According to insiders, Nelson sees Brooklyn Beckham as scattered and unfocused, a young man still trying to figure out who he really is while carrying the massive weight of one of the most famous last names on the planet. That judgment might not be completely fair, but in circles fueled by money, power, and legacy, perception often matters way more than truth. And as Brooklyn's feud with his parents has grown nastier and more public, those close to the Peltz family say Nelson's doubts have only deepened. In elite circles, cutting off your own family isn't seen as independence, it's seen as instability. And in a world where image means everything, instability is bad business. But there's another major crack in the story: Brooklyn's professional identity. He's tried everything: photography, cooking, lifestyle branding, creative projects, but nothing has truly cemented him as a serious long-term player. And that uncertainty, paired with his distance from his family, has people whispering that he's standing on shaky ground inside someone else's empire. It's raising tough questions about direction, about influence, about who's really calling the shots when all the glitz fades away. Every new project, every photo, every interview Brooklyn drops now gets torn apart publicly, and insiders say quietly picked over inside the Peltz inner circle too. In that house, nothing slides by unnoticed. Meanwhile, on the other side of the story, there's David Beckham, a man who built his entire empire through discipline, patience, and relentless grind. The contrast between father and son couldn't be louder. Brooklyn's career path has zigzagged between passions: a little photography here, some cooking there, lifestyle ideas, branding experiments, but no clear direction yet. David's world runs on legacy, endurance, and control. The Peltz world runs on dominance, structure, and results. When two powerhouses operate by completely different codes, friction isn't just possible, it's inevitable. And right now, Brooklyn Beckham stands right in the middle of that clash, caught between two empires that both play to win, but play by entirely different rules. It was inevitable. Sources close to the Beckhams say they saw the shift in Brooklyn long before anything blew up in public. At first, it was barely noticeable, tiny changes that slowly stacked up. He started deferring decisions he once made himself. Conversations that used to be easy suddenly had to go through someone else. Private family talks began needing intermediaries and legal filters. That's when the alarm bells started ringing. Something major had changed. Their son wasn't steering his own ship anymore. Someone else was helping chart the course. Those closest to David and Victoria swear Brooklyn never used to talk like this. He didn't frame his parents as controlling or paint them as villains in his story. That's new. But while Brooklyn completely denies that narrative and insists he's simply speaking his truth, the timing of everything keeps raising eyebrows. The pattern is hard to ignore, and it's turned the debate into something deeper. Is this real independence or something far more complicated happening right before our eyes? The longer the marriage went on, the wider the distance grew, and one detail stands out more than any other: the people staying silent. Brooklyn's siblings have refused to take sides. His brothers and sisters still post with their parents, still show love publicly, and still live their lives without touching the drama at all. That quiet contrast speaks volumes, and it's got everyone asking tough questions.
I think it's rare. You often hear in relationships, one says to the other, "You've changed." Well, you'd like to think you've changed. If you've been with someone for 26 years and you haven't changed, there's a problem right there. We have both changed, but we've changed together.
Maybe, just maybe, this isn't really about control the way Brooklyn describes. Because if the Beckham household was truly as suffocating as he claims, why did only Brooklyn walk away while everyone else stayed close without a problem? That question has fueled endless speculation. Some fans cheer Brooklyn on, calling him brave for standing up for himself. But behind the scenes, the cost of that stand has been brutal. No quick check-ins, no casual family visits, no warmth. Everything now runs through lawyers, managers, and perfectly worded messages. Every piece of communication is filtered and formal, stripped of the emotion that once held them together. And once a family hits that level of distance, rebuilding becomes nearly impossible. Most celebrity feuds follow a predictable pattern: a public explosion, a long silence, and then an emotional reunion moment that melts the internet. But this one, it feels different. This isn't just another family fight playing out in the tabloids. It's a slow, painful unraveling that shows no sign of healing. The Beckhams still move forward, united in their brand and legacy, but that missing piece, their firstborn, leaves a shadow that no photo op can hide. This isn't just about hurt feelings or bruised egos. It's way bigger than that. This is about structure, power, and identity colliding head-on. Two powerhouse families, two totally different value systems, and one son caught right in the middle. And the longer this silent standoff drags on, the heavier it feels, like something permanent is slowly setting in. Everyone watching from the outside keeps circling back to the same haunting question: can this family ever really find their way back to each other? Here's the question that refuses to fade. What happens if Brooklyn Beckham ever changes his mind? Because let's be real, walking away always feels easier when you're sure you're right. But coming back, that takes real humility, patience, and forgiveness from everyone. Insiders say David and Victoria Beckham would open their arms to their son in a heartbeat. No grudges, no public spectacle, no emotional scorekeeping, just love. But the bigger question is, would everyone else in this story feel the same way? Would Nicola Peltz truly support that kind of reunion? Would Nelson Peltz even allow space for it? Or have lines already been crossed so deep that they can ever be erased? Right now, it feels like the Beckham family lives in two separate worlds. One side smiling in public, standing strong in tradition and unity, while the other keeps its distance, calm but firm, unwilling to take the first step. Brooklyn still insists he has no regrets. David and Victoria say they'll wait as long as it takes. And Nicola, she stays poised, steady, and unshaken. Whether that's fierce loyalty or quiet influence depends entirely on how you read the story. But one truth is undeniable. Brooklyn Beckham's life has changed forever, and if there's ever a path back, it won't be easy. The lines between love and loyalty have blurred, and the next move could redefine everything for both families. So now we've got to ask, has that bridge been burned for good, or is there still room for forgiveness down the line? What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's talk about it. And if you love deep dives like this, real stories that go beyond the headlines, make sure you hit like, tap subscribe, and check out the other videos waiting for you right here on the channel. Because trust me, this story, it's just one of many still unfolding.